It's a great day, as you all know, first week of fall, and I have some work to do. As promised, I told you all that we will be potting up or adding amendments and fixing our garden up for the fall winter months. So, as promised, let's get to work. You all may not can see me very well in the camera. The sun is out early this morning, and I wanted just to focus on our azaleas here. As you can see, it is looking horrible right now. And my plan is just to basically, you know, add more soil. This is the container we did the hugelkultur experiment in this container. As you can see, there are logs are still the logs or branches are still there. And the only thing I'm going to do is basically add a little bit more soil to this container. Okay. And you see where we're at. We're not where we need to be. So and I want to remind you all, y'all probably saying this azaleas was purchased in about a one gallon nursery container about 2 years ago, maybe. And so that's just the reason why it looks so small. And what I will do is add more soil to this later on, but you get the drift of this. All I'm doing is just backfilling it, and it looks completely dry on top because I have not watered it. So what I'll do is add more fertilizer. Okay, everyone, now I want to make a disclaimer to you all. This container here, I worked on last night. I top dressed this one last night, and this one just now for you all, just to show you what I'm doing. I'm rearranging our garden for the late fall, early winter season. I like to just change things up, every once in a while. And so I just want to make sure you understand, when we purchased our azaleas about, I believe it was 2 years ago, it was in a container like this. So that's why when you just saw me lift up the azaleas, you saw it wasn't nothing dramatic with the root ball. I do want to mention though, when we first got these azaleas, we used the acidic soil azaleas, Camellia acidic soil by E.B.Stone, okay, bag soil. You can use soil sulfate to allow your soil to become acidic if you're doing it in the ground, or if you are using raised bed potting soil, you can add that to it and just follow the directions. What I did today was just use regular raised bed potting soil and just top dressed it with that, okay. I have to go ahead and fertilize this. I'm gonna just tell you all straight up. This year I was lazy. I did not refeed this azaleas or this one. Okay, but what really caused a lot of damage was our extreme heat we had this year in the summer, and so this is why we see a lot of leaf damage, especially on this one. Um, this one, you can tell it's malnourished. You see the yellow leaves. It needs to be fed dramatically. That's what I'm going to do for both. This one is flowering, as you can see as well. I will get a close-up shot for you all just so you can see. Now, what I have to do is direct sow some seeds, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to be growing right now for our fall garden. Okay, guys, so, I told you all that this year, some time ago, I was going to start our fall garden from seed, and we may purchase some things as a backup of just in case things don't work out. One of the vegetables I wanted to direct sow this year was carrots again. Last year we did it, great success. This year we had purchased the purple dragon carrots, and I wanted to make sure I get this started this year in September. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I never had this variety before at all. This is the first time. And so I'm gonna take a few carrot seeds here. I like to juice carrots. Let's make sure I get enough here. It's like stuck in it. Oh, here we go. So, direct sowing is one of my favorite ways of starting my seeds. And I'm just going to spread it here. And then later on, I will come back and water in. I don't worry about spacing and none of that when it comes to the carrot seeds. I just let them have it. So that should be enough. I can't wait to see how this turns out. We got more to do in the garden. Well, I'm walking to little NJ's got an apple tree. And the reason why I call it little NJ's got an apple tree, because it's his tree. Well, it's all our tree. But he loves apples, so as you all know. This tree this year, unfortunately, did not produce any fruit. I know a lot of you were looking forward to seeing the development of this tree. I know, especially I remember Miss New Orleans Gardener was wondering if we would get apples, and actually it did flower, y'all. I did show some pictures. I think I just incidentally broke it. Yeah. Anyhow, but unfortunately all the flowers dropped this year due to, everyone know, the weather has been crazy, the weather pattern. I know I talked about it a lot. I should be a meteorologist. It's like, I'm playing. But unfortunately, the tree, couldn't take it this year. So I eventually had this tree facing the south-facing area of our home. And this year, later on this year, I decided to put it here by a compost bin. And I think it's doing pretty well. It's starting to change leaf color. That's an indication that it's fall, basically. It's going to go dormant very soon. It's not malnourished at all. And as the weather pattern changes, it starts to drop its leaves. And so, as you can see, I'm just helping it out a little bit. I am going to just prune one little branch off. I don't want to redo any heavy pruning on this. It's extremely tall, you all. As you can see, it's a standard tree. I have learned recently that when it comes to apple trees, they're best grown in the ground from a veteran who grows apples, but they can still handle containers, from what I have learned. But this definitely will go on the ground one day. Hoping that we get some fruit in the next growing season. And what I'm noticing now as I'm learning about apples is that it's starting to put out its spurs. So we will see. Cat apple, y'all, a nice all-purpose apple to have. Oh yeah, I need to show you the Meyer Lemon. Well, well, well. Look what we have here. The Meyer Lemon is coming back. And as you can see, we got some nice looking fruit development. So hopefully you all, it will do well and we'll be able to harvest the fruit. But now I have to do something that I regret. Let me show you. Well, it's time to say goodbye to the moral blood orange. It's gone. The only thing that it's doing is basically developing branches from where the grass is, and it's in this area here. So me and my wife decided to let it go, let it be, let it turn to back to soil, and move on. Sometimes that's what you have to do, is just let things go and move on in life. And this is just one of them. It did very well last year, as you all know. We were able to get fruit, and I am kind of sad, but at the end of the day, I gotta keep it moving. But we gotta keep it moving. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and just put these medium bark in this container temporarily where our basil is. And let life move on. Let this tree turn back into soil as it should, instead of struggle. And I know I have a mess on the ground already, so I'll just go ahead and just clean my mess up. And I want to say this. I know what actually happened with this tree. We have grubs in some of our containers, and unfortunately, look at the root system. I had just watered this too, so that's why it looks the way it does. But I have noticed in a couple of our containers that they are having grubs, and so the only way you can get rid of it if you have chickens or if you had nematodes to kill them off. Now, there's nothing wrong with grubs if you're composting; they're good for that. But when you're trying to grow vegetation, it ain't good. So RRP or RH to the moral blood orange. Oh, and don't worry, y'all. I'm going to actually use this remaining container for something else.